Hello and welcome back. In this session, we'll start defining and understanding what is plan risk management, and we'll see identify risks and perform the qualitative and quantitative risks analysis. Also, the final one, which is including the planning risk responses as part of the planning phase. So after that, we have covered the planning communication management. Also, we have covered the plan stakeholder engagement. Now it's the time to move to the risk management. Again, welcome to the session and introduction in risk planning. So, risk management is a critical aspect of project planning, ensuring that potential issues are identified early and managed proactively. In this video, we'll discuss how risk planning helps in forecasting obstacles, managing uncertainties, and enhancing the project success. By planning ahead of risks, projects become more resilient and adaptable, ultimately leading to a better project outcomes. Risk management in project planning involves identifying and assessing and addressing risks that could impact the project. This process is designed to anticipate both threats and opportunities. Risk planning as part the risk planning is part of this process, which involves defining how will the project, let's say, approach these uncertainties, and also create strategies to minimize the threats and take advantages of opportunities. This will ensure the project is well occupied equipped with um, and ready to handle any issues that may arise. Now let's see the importance of having a proactive risk planning. Proactive risk planning is essential for successful project delivery. By identifying potential risks early, you can plan how to mitigate them and allocate resources effectively. And this foresight reduces the project surprises or crises, also unforeseen obstacles, helping to prevent delays and cost overruns. A proactive planning enables the project team to be prepared with the contingency plans, and that can be ready or that can be implemented in case if there is any risk materializes, ensuring a smoother project execution. How come or how will effective risk planning can enhance project outcomes? So, effective risk planning directly impacts the project outcomes by enhancing its resilience. It ensures that the project remains aligned with its objectives, even in the face of uncertainties. With a clear risk management strategy, teams can adjust to changing circumstances and handle unforeseen events and continue progressing towards project goals. This leads to more predictable results and greater overall project success. Now let's have an overview on the key processes that is involved in risk management. So the risk management processes is integral to project success. It begins with risk identification, where potential risks are identified and documented. Next is risk analysis, where these risks are assessed for their potential impact and probability. Then comes the risk response planning, where actions are developed to mitigate and avoid the risks. Finally, risk monitoring. Risk monitoring is crucial to track the risks throughout the project lifecycle. So the planning phase ensures that all of these steps is initiated with a structured approach. That's why we have a risk management process within the planning phase. Now let's have a look on the risk management plan, which is the RMP. RMP or risk management plan is one of the most important outputs of the planning phase. This documents outline how will the team approach risk management throughout the project. It defines the roles and responsibilities, methodologies and risk tolerance levels, and the tools and techniques that will be used to mitigate these risks. The RMP ensures that all of the stakeholders are aligned in their approach to when managing the risks. Here are some of these techniques that you might use when doing risk and identification. You can say that identifying risks early in the project is the key here. Techniques such as the brainstorming and SWOT analysis and checklist analysis are often used. We'll come into more details when we reach to the key ITTOs involved when building the RMP. But here, let's say that we are discussing the high-level techniques that can be used in general risk management. So, brainstorming as a key tool here, which encourages an open discussions, while SWOT analysis helps identifying risks through strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The checklists provide a predefined lists of potential risks based on previous projects or industry standards. All identified risks must be documented for analysis. Once risks are identified, so the next step, as we said, is that we have to do a risk analysis. There are two types of risk analysis, including the qualitative analysis, which involves assessing each of the risks' impact and likelihood, typically using metrics to prioritize them. The next tool here we have in risk analysis, which is the quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis uses a numerical methods to assess the risk impact in more measurable terms, helping to determine the potential cost or schedule impacts of each of these risks. Both of these approaches provide a critical insight into how each risk should be handled. And we are going to cover each of them in a different sessions and to have a real world example and to understand it in more depth. When it comes to risk responses and putting the risk responses with the strategy, so effective risk responses planning involves selecting an appropriate strategies to handle each of the identified risks. The main strategies here include mitigate and avoid, transfer, and accept. This is for negative risks. So the main strategies, as I said, the avoidance. Avoidance is changing the project plan to eliminate the risk. Okay, that's what we mean with avoid. Then we have mitigate. So mitigate is to reduce the likelihood of or impact of the risk. The next type of response that we have is transfer. Transfer is like shifting the risk to a third party, like buying an insurance or putting someone responsible outside of the organization to handle that risk. We also have acceptance. Acceptance is like acknowledging the risks and preparing to manage it, to manage its consequences, like doing nothing. So choosing the right strategy ensures that the risks are handled in a way that minimizes their negative impact. There will be also different strategies to deal with the opportunities, which is the which might you see in some of the projects you might have risks and opportunities. So opportunities is the opposite of risks. So we will have different, let's say, strategies like sharing the opportunity or exploiting the opportunity. And to summarize our session, when we have introduced risk planning and the RMP, so So we say that risk planning is an essential element for the project success, and it enables the project teams to anticipate the risks and plan appropriate responses, and ensures the project stays on track despite of uncertainties. By developing a risk management plan and using a proven risk management techniques, teams can navigate a potential obstacles effectively, improving the likelihood of the project success.